Okay, well that's the intonation set up now. The first time you set up the intonation, it could take you a long time, and it also depends on what sort of guitar you have. If you have a Floyd Rose tremolo system, like the sort of Steve Vai, what he would use, you might be at it for a week to learn, just trial and error. You know, it'll drive you insane the first time you do it. If you do have one of them and you're not really that way inclined to be able to stay at something long term and see it through till the end, then I would definitely advise giving it to somebody who knows how to do it and let them do it if it's a Floyd Rose. But if it's something simple like this normal Strat type or Les Paul type, for talk's sake, they are absolutely no problem. You should be able to get the swing of them in an hour or two, or even less. If you just follow my instructions, you should maybe be able to do the guitar from start to finish in half an hour without any, major problems. But it does take a wee bit of getting used to and things like that. But once it's done, it's a job. It's a job that's done for years. It doesn't need done again. And the only thing you have to be careful of is that you put the same gauge of strings and the same make of strings back on. Now, a slightly thicker gauge of strings won't make a million miles of difference, but it will knock it off a wee tiny bit. So if you've went to all the trouble to get your setup completely perfect and you put on a heavier gauge of strings, then you're going to sort of undo a wee bit of your good work. So keep that in mind. Okay. And the main reason why you want to do that kind of a setup, now, whenever you've got your guitar tuned, so you're playing your D chords on, dead on, C. But then whenever you come down to the bottom of the neck and you start playing chords down in this area, which sometimes you do end up doing, they just don't sound right. So like if I was to, you can see how it sounds. See how it sounds completely dead on. And this guitar, £200, my amp is a set of PC speakers. This is what I use out in the garage just for the intonation purposes, you know what I mean, like, so whatever sound you can get out of these, and they're not even cranked up loud or nothing. And I'm using a Boss ME30. It's a really old type of effects pedal. Yeah, I bought this when I sort of started playing the guitar, and I've had it all these years. It's never given me no trouble. It's a wee workhorse of a thing, like, and it could probably do with a bit of a service of somebody who knows that kind of stuff. But it's really never given me no trouble. But that's really where you'll notice the intonation. If you're playing chords down the bottom, they will not be quite right. If you're playing that sort of long train come or something along them sort of lines, then you're going to have problems again. And another place that you're going to notice it even more so, and if you've got to the level of being able to play this kind of music, and you haven't got your guitar set up, shame on you. If you're playing the chordal tapping kind of stuff, and the further apart you bring your fingers, so if I was to play, that's a Joe Satriani song, so if I was to play this part of it here, this is, on a guitar that hadn't been properly set up, it would just sound like somebody had just took the tuner pegs and just messed them up all over the place. It would just sound completely out of tune. And that's the main reason why you need to do the intonation. And this intonation is now, like, it's 100% perfect. It's done by the tuner on my phone. And I definitely swear by this. If you're looking at a tuner and you're thinking of spending big bucks, don't. Just buy one of these phones and get the tuner for free. And it's as good, if not better, than a really high-end guitar tuner. As I said before, the only problem with that tuner is sometimes you try and tune your guitar and then somebody rings you. But apart from that, there you can't really complain. There's not very much left to actually do to this guitar tonight. We're still waiting on a couple of parts coming in the post, but the only other wee jobs we can do tonight is to put this wee thing back on now. I'm not actually sure what these are called, but this is the part that holds the strap on. And also the pickup as well. The pickup is a wee bit too high. The one at the neck position is too high. It's actually sitting higher than the neck, so if you can imagine, as I would be playing right down the neck, right down to the bottom couple of frets, the actual strings would be lower down than the pickup. So you know you're going to be getting the string hitting off the pickup, and it's not going to be good. So we need to lower that down to fix that problem. Right. The other thing we need to do is we need to put this yoke back in here now. Now this isn't the original piece, and one of the problems is that this screw is too small for the hole, so we're going to have to fill the hole in with a wee bit of something and then put the screw into it. Now if you remember earlier on I was talking about putting matches into a hole so that the screw would fit again. I'm going to just show you how I would do this. It's pretty straightforward. Like use any kind of a knife and just some sort of a hard wood, or not something that's too hard. Now you don't want something that's too hard, just something that's hard enough but not too hard. Now this is poplar, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to carve this down into a point, kind of a long point like this here, right? Because I want wood going the whole way down into the hole. This is like a knife you'd use for peeling potatoes or something, but it's real handy out here. I use it all the time. Okay, as you can see, I've just sort of stuck that in there, and I'm just going to chop it off. I'm going to grab a very sort of small saw with very little teeth, and this is what's called a razor saw. This is the kind of saw you'd actually use to cut the slots for the frets. And the beauty about this, there's no set on the teeth, so whenever you saw along here by this paintwork, it's not going to eat into the paintwork or anything like that. Right, that's all you need to do. Now, because this wood isn't overly hard, we should still be able to just screw directly in here without having to drill a pilot hole in. This body's brave and chunky, so we don't have to worry about cracking it. Now if this was something like the peg head or something, and we were doing something like this, you need to drill a pilot hole. There's not enough wood surrounding it that, you know, it's just not going to be safe to do it this way. But that's that, and it's not going to come out again. So that's in there, and there's no movement or nothing. And it's as simple as that.